Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Scavenger. Welcome to today's video. I am bringing you a game that I haven't actually played in a while. I haven't played this since sometime last year. I was browsing through some of the library I've accumulated, and it was there. And I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to get back into that. So we're playing Nightly Passions today, and I'm picking up where I left off in the previous video, probably about a year ago now. It was sometime last year. Anyway, just to be sure, if you want to see where I left off and you want to catch up on what I've played so far, I've got the playlist. It should be popping up there in the top right corner. You can just click that icon and see where we are. But basically, we're going to go ahead and get started here where I had went to get the abbot for the monastery because he had been absent. And where we're picking up right now, I found him. He was at a witch's hut having his way with a carpet that he thought was a woman. But anyway, he's decided that he'd much rather live a life full of love and lust than be the religious leader in town. So now I've got to go back and tell the nuns this. So that's where we're picking up right here. So let's get into today's episode. Carefully closing the door behind you, you enter the congregation. One of the nuns is placing books in the pockets on the pews. Another nun is wiping down the altar, and a third is arranging church relics in a chest. Seeing you, all three immediately put aside their task and quickly gather in front of you, their sparkling eyes burning with impatience. So they've asked me to go find him, and now I've got to give them the news. Come on, glorious hunter, don't keep us in suspense. Did you learn anything about the abbot? Yes, sisters, I found him, and I'm afraid I have bad news. He refuses to come back. All three gasp and wring their hands. What? Why not? What's the problem? How can I put it? In short, he's tired. Tired of working here, not experiencing life. Not experiencing life? What do you mean? Well, that he's... How should I say this? Essentially, he's a man. A normal, healthy man with needs. But he does the same thing here day after day, never spending time with any women. In fact, I'm not sure if he'd seen female breasts before he left. So he's abandoned the monastery in order to meet women? Why? Right, there are no women here except you, and nuns aren't permitted to... All three nuns look at each other. Then the blonde, presumably taking the lead by right of seniority, says in a shockingly sultry voice, According to whom? Your heart skips a beat at the sound of her steamy question. Your eyes nearly popping out of your head. You barely manage to whisper, But how can this be? I think you deserve to know a secret, now that you're helping us. We haven't always been nuns, and we know a lot about worldly life. Trust me, the Father Superior lost out a lot when he left. This can't be possible. The abbot must understand that without him, the monastery will quickly fall into decline. It will collapse. But isn't it safe in your capable hands? Of course not, because without him, we can't... Suddenly, the raven-haired nun jerks a redhead's arm. Okay. They've got a secret that they don't want to tell us. It seems like they're hiding something. Catching yourself. Without him, we won't be able to hold services. What would that be? Is the congregation really that demanding? I ought to find out what they're up to. Help us, please. All right, I'll do whatever I can. We greatly appreciate it, chivalrous hunter. Okay, something's going on. We're gonna get to the bottom of what's going on with those nuns. Closing the monastery door behind you, you stand perfectly still, listening carefully. Okay. What's wrong with you? Don't you have any brains at all? Sorry. I forgot myself for a second. No one must suspect that we can handle holding services without him, understood? Pray that the hunter manages to find him. The abbot needs to be returned to us. Yes. Interesting. Well, she's right about one thing. The abbot needs to be brought back. What they need him for, I'll figure out later. Okay. The cool thing about this game, I can check on my quests and stuff like that. So let's go to the quest log here. And I'm working on quest 2 right now. Main quest I can't do yet because the main quest is searching for my sister. And I've done everything that I can do so far. So quest 2, the nuns have convinced me that the abbot returns to the monastery. He won't regret it. So I should speak with him again. That means I got to go back to the witch's hut. I got plenty of time during the day to do that. Hold on, I want to look at some other quests real quick. Polaris was, I have the flower. I should give it to the tavern keeper's assistant. But I don't have, I finished quest 4 somehow, and I finished quest 1. But quest 3, the strength of Ares, I don't even know. I like that I can see all the quests that I have to do. And we're going to go to the witch's hut again. As you approach the witch's hut, you begin listening intently from a goodly distance away, stepping as quietly as possible. There are no audible strange sounds. After pressing your ear to the door to make sure it's all quiet, you gingerly peek inside. The abbot sits at a table, staring at a series of whips, handcuffs, and gags laid out on the tabletop. Seeing no witches anywhere, you move along into the house. Holy Father, I'm back.
You again? I already told you everything. Leave before she comes back.
Listen, Holy Father, you have a real treasure house within your monastery.
What?
Yes, indeed, Padre. That's right. And not just one, but an entire trio of treasures. Priceless treasures. You'll see them for yourself if you return to the monastery today.
What are you talking about, Hunter? There's nothing more valuable than copper lamps in the monastery.
Padre, let's make a deal. If you return and find that I've lied, I will give you every cent I own as a donation, and I will continue to give you half of everything I can earn with my own 2 hands.
Are you out of your mind?
Why don't you see for yourself?
I don't know what you're playing at, boy. But fine, I'll return to the monastery. After all, I could use the gold.
That's great. Oh, and make sure the witch doesn't put a hex on you or something. Who knows how angry she'll be at your departure.
I'm a man of the cloth. The wiles of witches do not work on me. Now, be off with you. The witch will be back soon.
All right. Swiftly slipping out of the door, you rush directly towards the monastery at full tilt. You want to alert the nuns to the situation as soon as possible so they can be ready for the abbot's arrival. Throwing open the gates, you barrel into the monastery. The nuns, sitting on a pew in front of the lectern, whirl around in fright. Oh, I made it. Do you have news about the abbot? Yes, sisters, I do. The Padre promised he'll return this evening. That's wonderful. He'll be too quick to celebrate. As soon as he realizes that I've duped him, he'll leave again. What exactly did you tell him? That he'd left treasures behind in here. I meant you 3, of course, but who knows how he interpreted that. The nuns looked at each other. That was a great idea. I just blurted out the first thing that popped into my head. I hadn't planned any of the conversation out. Oh, don't worry, Hunter. We actually do have treasures that will make him change his mind about leaving. Sisters, we must thoroughly prepare for the meeting with the Father Superior. The other 2 nuns, grinning mischievously, nod and disappeared through the far door. Bless you, Hunter. Oh, look, I got 100 gold coins for that and a skill point. Nice. Here, take this as a token of our gratitude. All right. Is my quest done, or is there going to be more? After exchanging farewells with the nun, you beat a hasty retreat from the monastery. I guess for now I can go back to the tavern. I don't want to go here, though. Want to check in on him. Oh, you prepared, didn't you? We look forward to the return of the abbot. Okay, that's it. Nothing. Okay. I kind of want to see what's going on, you know? I can level up, though. So I've got charisma, hunting instinct, and combat training. I think... Will combat training give me a new card? I'll do that. I don't know if it gives me a new card or not. So one more thing I'll do is this guy right here, the tavern keeper's assistant, had asked me to go find a flower. So I did actually go ahead and do that while I was out in the woods looking for the witch. So let's get him this flower, and then we'll go from there. Did you get it? I don't waste my breath on idle promises. Here's your flower. The young man reverently takes a flower, carefully holding it with two. You succeeded. I can't believe my eyes. And that was it? Okay. It took some doing, you know. I have no idea how you survived in there for a whole week. What are you suggesting? That I'm lying? Or hiding something? You tactfully say nothing. The lad starts laughing good-naturedly. I'm doing nothing of the sort. Maybe I just got lucky, but I honestly didn't come across anything dangerous in the forest. I saw the tracks of wild animals, but I thought that they wouldn't be a threat to you, since you're a hunter. You know, I'm not very accustomed to hunting creatures who wouldn't mind eating me as a snack. But those wild animals certainly tried to. They tried hard. As a token of my gratitude, I'll teach you how to bandage minor wounds. Of course, you won't be able to regenerate a severed arm or anything, but you'll be able to dress small cuts and restore your strength. That would be very helpful. Great. Then memorize this. The boy begins to tell you about how you can dress wounds during battle. Oh, it's a card. Cool. It adds 50 HP. That's good. How about talking to the tavern keeper again? He always says welcome to the drunk, to his tavern, even though I've been here 1,000 times. I'm going to ask about the elf again. Last time he got mad at me. And should I try to soothe him? Your charisma level's too low for that. Okay. I'm going to offer him a drink. Because otherwise he wouldn't want to talk to me about it. I still have a bottle of wine left. I can't handle it all on my own, I'm afraid. You want to give me a hand?
I'm always willing to help good people.
He produces some glasses and quickly fills them up. Then another time, and another. When the bottle is nearly empty, you decide that you can't think of a more opportune moment. So, what's up with the weird room that you have upstairs? And with a prisoner in it, no less. He's silent. Rage burns in his eyes. But after a while, he nods his head, mutely inviting you to step inside with him.
You're not gonna believe me anyway, Hunter. She's not the captive you might think she is. Rather, I'm her captive.
What? How's that even possible? She's the one who's chained up.
I told you wouldn't believe me.
He sighs heavily.
One night, I was on my way back to the tavern from another town, taking the shortest route through the enchanted forest. In the distance, near the forest's edge, I saw several people dressed in rags. Usually, I pass groups like that by, but this one seemed very suspicious. When I walked closer, I saw that they were jeering and laughing at a woman leashed to a tree. Then, one of the louts punched her in the face. I was instantly outraged and rushed to defend the lass.
Is that how...
Though there were half a dozen of them, their fighters were worthless. After I defeated 2 of them, the rest ran away. But the girl, she was just sitting there on the ground, watching me with hatred and fear. I tried to talk with her and figure out which town she was from, but she was silent as the grave. Next, I went up to her to untie her. I reached out my hand, and she jumped up and lunged at me. I was shocked when I realized that she was an elf. I barely dodged all her attempts to bite me. All in all, I never got any sense out of her. From that moment on, she didn't speak a single word. I wanted to leave her there, but somehow it didn't seem humane. Even if she was an elf, she was still a living being. So I decided to take her with me since I could see she was in danger. But she still refused to speak and keep trying to bite me. Even here, she wouldn't calm down. I had to chain her up. So why not let her go? I really feel sorry for the girl. Though elves and humans don't get along, I don't wish her ill. If I let her go, the guards will arrest her in a blink of an eye and slit her throat. They'd even earn a reward from the governor. So you'd like to be rid of her, but you aren't sure how to accomplish that? Yes, that's exactly right. If you'll help me, I'll reward you generously. Alright, how could I help? For starters, I need you to find where she's from, and where she is trying to go. Try speaking with the blacksmith. Rumor has it that few people know more about elves than him. Maybe he can tell you how to loosen her tongue. Good thinking. I'll do everything I can to sort things out. And not a word to anyone about the elf in my tavern, Hunter. The last thing I need is more problems. You nod. The tavern keeper turns to the bar with a mollified look on his face. Alright, so, she's an elf that we're trying to get rid of somehow, but humanely. Okay. Alright, I think we can do that. And we're still in the beginning of the day. So, yeah. I think right here we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. And we'll
take care of this elf situation in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked the video, make sure you smack that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.